Have you ever stopped to think why, for most of human history, mountains weren't seen as majestic challenges, but as terrifying, useless barriers? It's a surprisingly recent phenomenon, this urge to stand on the highest peak, and the story of how we got there is less about superhuman strength and more about a seismic shift in human perception. For millennia, our ancestors viewed mountains with a mix of dread, awe, and practicality. They were obstacles to be circumnavigated, homes of gods or vengeful spirits, places of untamed wilderness. Greek myths placed Olympus off limits. The Romans saw the Alps as an abominable wilderness. You didn't climb them unless absolutely necessary, like Hannibal, who only crossed the Alps because he had an army to move and a war to win, not for the view. Can you imagine the sheer terror and logistical nightmare? So what changed? Well, as Europe emerged from the Middle Ages, curiosity began to replace superstition. The Renaissance sparked a new interest in the natural world. But it was the Enlightenment that truly began to chip away at the mountain's fearsome reputation. Scholars and naturalists, armed with scientific instruments and a hunger for knowledge, started to look at these colossal formations not as divine barriers, but as vast outdoor laboratories. They wanted to understand geology, botany, meteorology. Mountains were no longer just intimidating backdrops. They were data points. Take Horace-Bénédict de Saussure, an 18th century Genevan naturalist. He was utterly fascinated by Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Alps. For decades, he studied it from afar, then offered a substantial reward to anyone who could find a route to its summit. This wasn't about adventure, not yet. It was pure scientific ambition. And in 1786, two local men, Jacques Balmat and Michel Gabriel Picard, finally claimed that prize, ushering in a new era. Not with grand equipment, but with sheer grit and local knowledge. This feat wasn't just a scientific expedition. It began to hint at something more, the idea of personal achievement against nature. Then came the Romantics. If the Enlightenment gave us scientific curiosity, Romanticism gave us the soul of mountaineering. Poets, painters, and philosophers saw mountains as symbols of the sublime, places to find spiritual awakening, to confront the vastness of nature, and to feel utterly, gloriously small. The challenge became less about scientific discovery and more about self-discovery. It was here that the idea of conquering a peak, not just for knowledge but for the sheer thrill and triumph, truly took root. This era, often called the Golden Age of Alpinism, saw an explosion of first ascents across the Alps and beyond. Climbers like Edward Whymper, who famously conquered the Matterhorn in 1865, pushed the boundaries of what was considered possible. Gear evolved from simple ropes and walking sticks to ice axes, crampons, and specialized boots. Every new peak bagged, every new technique developed, pushed the frontiers further. It wasn't just about reaching the top anymore, but about how you reached it. The route, the challenge, the elegance. So the journey from fearing mountains to scaling them was a slow, deliberate climb itself. It involved the intellectual curiosity of the Enlightenment, the emotional depth of Romanticism, and the relentless ingenuity of pioneers. From forbidding wastes to scientific observatories, and then to playgrounds for human spirit and endurance, mountains have transformed in our collective imagination. They are no longer just geological formations, but mirrors reflecting our evolving relationship with nature, our endless quest for challenge, and perhaps a deeper understanding of ourselves. If this glimpse into the history of high-altitude ambition piqued your interest, you might enjoy subscribing for more stories of human endeavor and the world around us.